Casting to you live through Be Live TV. Welcome. Soul Connections each and every Wednesday is about you connecting to your soul, to your spiritual team, and to your higher self to see what you need for healing or what guidance maybe you need to move forward in your life. So it's a combination of doing a healing meditation to kind of clear the baggage we might have in the way, or maybe some physical or emotional symptoms that we're having. And then once we get centered and grounded, then we move on to some messages from spirit that come through me after the meditation. And so I use divine oracle cards, and the ones I'm using this week are The Answer is Simple. There we go. That's there by Sonia Choquette, who's a beautiful spiritual teacher originally from the Chicago area, for those of you in the Midwest, but of course now living in Paris. But I love these cards because literally the answer is simple. So if you have a question that you want to ask your spiritual team, or if you would like guidance on a certain issue, then all you have to do is say yes, please, in the comments, and we will pull the card for you in the order that we receive them here in the production studio, which might not be exactly the same as you see in your new feed, but I do read all the cards. So to the best of my ability, I pull all the cards. So, just feel free to ask. And I see we have a few people already in the house. I'm glad you're here with us. And that's a really cool thing. Those of you who, know the drill, if you could like and share this broadcast to help us get it out there in Facebook land. Maybe there's somebody that who could use a little healing or a little wisdom to come through for them. You could send it to them through Messenger. You could put it on your news feed or send it to a group of like-minded people who maybe would like an opportunity to do some of their own spiritual work, because we're here for the light workers. Because my spiritual mission is to heal the healers, and this is one of the ways that my team has shown me how to do that, which is to really help the light workers who are out there, really helping the community, helping the planet. We need a little TLC and a little time to fill our own cup. And at least this is an hour or two dedicated to just doing that and taking care of you in this time. So coming up on Star Nations Academy tomorrow night, I am teaching a class online for those of you who are interested in finding more out about how to manifest more effectively. There's a group of us, 4 spiritual teachers here at Star Nations, who've come together to help you with just that. Maureen Mann, Ed Langen, myself, and Neshi Lokatz. We all have a different perspective on manifestation. And my class is coming up tomorrow night. And that class is about manifesting in the multi-dimensional era that we're in, as well as tapping into your inner child. And the interesting thing is there's some brand new information here that I will be sharing with you guys as we enter this time of, dramatic change. Sometimes it's difficult to imagine being able to create anything. And I will also be talking about conscious creating and how to do that, and how rapidly that is occurring at the moment for many, many people once your intention and your focus is really set to the vibration that you're looking to create. So if you're interested in that, feel free to go to starnations.org and connect to the Star Nations Academy page, and we'll get you hooked up, because I'd love to have you. It's tomorrow evening from 8 to 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is one of those good things I'm excited about. I'm trying to keep an eye on who's in the house to a degree. So welcome everyone. I'm glad to see a bunch of your smiling faces are here with me tonight. And It's good to see that people are doing something to take care of themselves. There's so much going on that it's really helpful when we take a moment to ground and center and clear our own energy field so that we can be in that calm, centered place and can face the challenges, head on without freaking out, maybe, which is going on around us. So, like I said, you guys know the drill. If you can like and share this broadcast, I'd really appreciate it. Help reach some people in need. And with that, I'm going to start with the meditation right away because my team is like, get on it. So you guys must be ready to rock and roll. And I'm getting myself centered and grounded. So, and for those of you who haven't listened to my show before, I'm going to be making clearing noises. The past few days have been quite noisy, so I'm just warning you ahead of time. The clearing noises can sound kind of like burps or a little bit squawky. I have a lot of hawk medicine, so the hawk medicine's been pretty strong lately. So here we go. Let's start with our grounding. So try to take a couple of really deep breaths and feel free to blow out loudly. And with each breath, really try to bring your attention and your awareness back to your heartbeat. Notice the air as it's going in and out of your lungs. Feel your body in the chair or on the floor or in connection with the earth. And we're going to start by calling in the divine energy, however we perceive that, whether we connect to God or Goddess, all that is, oneness, consciousness, creator. Whatever your pathway of connection is, I invite you to welcome in the divine energy more fully and completely in this moment. And we're going to ask the divine energy to surround and protect us in a bubble of infinite love and infinite light, creating a sacred space for us to do our work and our healing this evening. And you're also welcome to create a second bubble of divine light around the home or the space that you are in. The second shell of protection so that you can feel safe and comfortable. And connecting with your own spiritual team. And we're going to invite in our spiritual team, our angels, our guides, our ancestors, the ascended masters, our animal totems, star beings, all divine of the highest, fullest, and brightest vibration available to us in this moment. And we set the intention, as always, that the healing work be for the good of all and harm to none, including ourselves. The healing meditation, the messages through the oracle cards, all through the vibration of unconditional love and light. We're going to begin by grounding our energy with our heart. We're going to ask our heart to create a cord of connection below and above the Divine Mother of Grandmother Earth and the Divine Father of Grandfather Sky. And the cord going down to ground us to the earth opens from our heart, through our solar plexus, through our sacral chakra, our root chakra, down each leg and each foot, down through all the layers of the earth, to the molten lava center, the heartbeat of Grandmother Earth herself. And this divine expression of the divine feminine, and we're going to ask that cord of connection to expand to the size of a tube or a cylinder, making room for more energy to flow to us and through us. And now the cord of connection to the divine masculine above, going from our heart through our throat, through our third eye, our crown, through our higher self and beyond, to the very center of all that is, to that place where our soul was first perceived. And asking that cord of connection to open gently to the size of a tube or a cylinder, so that divine energy can flow to us and through us, inviting the divine masculine and feminine energy to gather together once more within our heart space, filling and flowing with unconditional love. Allowing that love to surround and protect our inner child, and to radiate outwards through all the layers of our aura, in each and every direction, dimension, frequency, and vibration we are able to connect to. And in the physical realm, connecting to our crown, opening and allowing our divine connection to expand, releasing doubt, worry, and uncertainty. And opening and expanding our third eye, clearing our perception so that we can see and understand more clearly all the communication from our senses and our intuition as they come together as one. Allowing us to understand the messages and the patterns that are coming to us from our spiritual team as guidance. Opening our ears so that we can hear the communications more clearly. And opening the pathways of communication with all of our teams. And asking our inner wisdom to open. And remember all that we are able to connect to in the divine wisdom, divine knowledge and understanding. And opening our throat so that we can communicate our true being, our true essence in our own unique way. Through words and actions. Allowing us to express our true self, our passions, our joys, and all of our creations. Releasing the stress, tension, responsibility that we've been holding tightly in our neck and our upper back. Allowing our shoulders to release all that we've been carrying for others, whether it was chosen by us or not. So that in this moment, we are responsible only for ourselves. Giving us space to simply be in our own energy. And opening up our heart and all of its connections. To our inner child, our inner adult, our inner warrior, and our inner sage. The wisdom from all of the lifetimes we have ever had or will have. And the wisdom of all humanity. If we simply remember to ask. Releasing all the density, the sadness, the disappointment, all of the blame and the shame that have gathered in various parts of the heart. And inviting in our high heart, the transcendental heart, to connect to us in that beautiful, bright pink, allowing the unconditional love to flow through all aspects of our grieving, and filling the places with empathy for ourselves and to share with others. Releasing that which we've held on to, that may require forgiveness. And gently bringing the energy down into our solar plexus, calming the adrenals, bringing them into balance. And dissipating the fear that we may be carrying, whether it is ours or others, anxiety, worry, frustration, resentment, righteous anger, even overwhelm. Anything that may be squeezing your sense of self, self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence. And gently moving down into our sacral chakra below the belly button. Clearing away any emotional energy that we've held on to. All the flavors of sadness and anger. Making room for joy and wonder and excitement to come back in. Quieting any addictive energy that we've activated to cope with the energy we are experiencing on the planet at this moment. Inviting that energy to return to balance more fully and more completely. And as we move through the hips down into the root chakra at the base of our tailbone, calming and quieting any other energy where we have fear or worry about our survival and our safety, our food, our money, our house, our job, or those who are connected to us through family or closeness. And allow that energy to move all the way down through our legs and feet into the ground, into the earth beneath us. Releasing all that was ready to shift and change and grow. Allowing it to ignite in the molten lava center. Composting. Returning back to the original energy of creation for its highest benefit. And then welcoming in the divine feminine energy to fill in all the places where we were ready and willing to release that which we've held on to so dearly. And allowing it to come through our feet and our ankles, our calves and our knees, creating more flexibility and adaptability to all the change we are experiencing, filling in our foundation so that we can feel more steady and sturdy as we navigate this energy, this evolution that we are experiencing, restoring our second chakra into the harmonious flow, bringing it up through our solar plexus and our organs so that all can relax. Not work so hard for just a moment, supporting us through our spine and our rib cage, breathing new life and new energy into our heart and our lungs, inviting our heart to expand to hold even more joy, love, and wonder. And allowing that to flow down our shoulders and our arms into our hands so that we can share them with others. And allowing the energy to fill in our throat, giving a foundation to our voice and our expression through our third eye and our fuller perception, our crown and our beautiful connection to all that is, radiating out through all of our layers of our aura, restoring, repairing in each and every direction, dimension, vibration, and frequency that our energy is experienced in. Remembering that the energy is behind us as well as in front of us, on either side, above and below, and deeply within. And taking a moment to send healing energy to those who have prayed or asked for healing for the highest benefit. Gently dissolving any fear or worry that is ready to go for others with harm to none. And taking a moment of gratitude with your spiritual team for being here with you as always, guiding you through your healing and your clearing, and gathering the information to send you a message through the readings if you so desire. And take a couple of seconds to bring your energy and your awareness back to your physical body. Feel the weight of your energy and your essence in your chair or in the space that you are in. Feel your muscles on your bones, your clothes on your body. You can stretch and you can yawn, wiggle if you need to. And just reconnect with yourself in this realm, in this moment, All right. So there you go. Good job. So if you would like a message or a card pulled for you, the deck we're using is The Answer is Simple, the Oracle Cards by Sonia Choquette. And all you have to do is type in yes, please, and I'll be happy to pull a card for you. I pull them in the order that we receive them in the production studios, which might look a little bit different than your feed. But don't worry, it's my intention to get to everyone who asks for a card. So we're going to start with Rob Coulter. So Rob, your card is to say yes. So what I'm seeing for you or feeling for you right now is that there's an opportunity that's coming up, and you know, our logic brain wants us to mull it over and weigh the pros and cons and think about it. But our heart is saying yes, and your soul is saying yes. So, you know, we can miss out on opportunities when we think too hard and too much about something. Trust your instinct, trust your gut. But this is a time to actually say yes. So it feels like a new collaboration or a collaboration in a new way. And it feels like it's just an adjustment to put you and your energy in the right direction, or the new direction where you're meant to be headed now. It's like this little course correction. So don't think too hard about it. Try to answer from your heart and just say yes. All right. Jasmine, hello, dear. Nice to have you with us. So your card is Stick With It. And this is Jack and the Beanstalk. So he's a little guy and he's got a long way to go, right? So right now it's just saying, what I'm getting is that, you know, things are not the way we're used to them being, and we kind of got to make our way through. So it's just keep doing what you're doing. It may seem like it's going nowhere at the moment because the end isn't really in sight, but it's there. Your spiritual team has it out in front of you. It's there. You will reach it. Just at the moment, the steps may feel really small or insignificant, but just stick to it. Some things take time, and right now, time is what we all seem to need for our next step. So just keep going the way you're going. You're doing a great job. It's just going to take longer than you understand or longer than you were hoping for. And like I said, that's true for a lot of us on the planet right now. So it's just keep doing what you're doing because you're heading the right way, even though you may not know it. All right. Thanks for joining us. Minnie, your card is to accept love. I love that for you. So, you know, lots of times we're, you know, as healers, we're the giver. So we sometimes don't think about allowing other people to share with us. And, you know, that's, you know, little tiny offerings from someone else it may feel small, but it's big for them. So, you know, when you're opening yourself up to accept love, it's allowing someone else to show their appreciation for you. You know, it's them offering you help. Lots of times, you know, people are like, oh, can I help you with that? And you're like, no, I got it. When you're tempted to say, no, I've got it, take a deep breath and see if there's a way for you to say yes. Because that shows that you love and trust that other person, and it gives them a sense of well-being in their own soul, and that they feel seen and appreciated. So sometimes accepting love isn't just about us being willing to receive. It's also allowing someone else to give, who maybe giving is not the easiest thing. All right. All right. Thanks. Kate. This is cute. I don't know if you're the one who had this last week, but there's the Rebel card. I love this card. The pink hair and the sunglasses on the bike with the training wheels. So, maybe being a rebel isn't in your wheelhouse normally. But you're allowed to have that kind of energy. Sometimes we have to rebel against the way it's always been because it doesn't work for us. And maybe this is a time, what I really am seeing the training wheels. It's pretty cute. So it's like you're putting on the training wheels of how to like rebel. So, you're not going to be the one who's like throwing things and screaming and but you're more likely to subtly go, yeah, I'm not going to do that anymore. I know that worked for you, but it's never worked for me. And so it's, part of rebelling is setting boundaries on what's okay now. And that for a lot of us, those boundaries are shifting, and we're getting clearer on them because the old way doesn't work. And sometimes that's finding a new definition to how to do your job or how to approach living, right? A lot of people have been doing, and this time of quarantine is teaching us a little more about being. And so we may not necessarily want to go back to all that doing, and find a little better balance. So whatever you're going to start training yourself to rebel on, give it a shot this week. Your team is all behind you. All right, Jackie. So nice to have you here. So your card is See the Light. And this always reminds me, this card reminds me of Peter Pan and Wendy. Wendy and the boys, they fly out the window and go to Never Never Land. So part of what I'm seeing is like, notice the light in all the darkness. Notice where there is love and compassion and where there is joy. So that's the first little piece of it. And part of it is, our inner child is able to take those leaps of faith so much easier than our logical adult is. And so, the inner child can see the spark of brightness and want to follow it. And there's part of you that it's time to do that. It's almost like I can see like a lightning bug, so it's flying and leading the way. It's gently lighting the path for you to walk a new way. So look for it. Look for what feels lighter in your body. Or, so it doesn't feel so heavy, or all of a sudden you can breathe. That's light. That's light energy versus dense. And also, how to find the joy in some of the heavier, darker things that, can be weighing us down. There's a lot of heavy energy that is out there. And when we see the light and we feel the light and express it, then we have more room to breathe, and we also help others to see the light. And I do see like somebody who needs to see the light with you. So you might need to see it first to help them see it. All right. Thanks, Jackie. Ellen. Okay. This one's fun. This is the Say I'm Sorry card. So, there are times when, we know we didn't do things the best way we could. We were reactive and triggered, and we weren't our best selves. And when we are really working on our spiritual growth, it's important that we own those moments. And so saying I'm sorry when we know we didn't react in the way we wanted to is important. And sometimes we need to say I'm sorry to ourselves, because forgiveness is a big part of healing our heart and how heavy that can feel. And, I'm sorry I put you in this situation, or I'm sorry we had to go through that. And the Ho'oponopono prayer is a really great place to do that. If the sorry is with someone you can't actually say it to, if you don't have contact with them, or, they're on the other side, you can use that as a way to say, I'm sorry as well, because that's a very powerful practice. And I know you know how to do that. All right. Carol. Oh, sweet. Your card is just sing. Sometimes our throat chakra needs a little space to open so we can be creative. And so one of the best things to do is sing. And many of us, our big singing debut is like in our car, right? With the radio, and we're not traveling anymore. So we've stopped singing as much. So, turn on some music that you love and sing along with it. Sing in the shower. But it's asking that throat to open, and singing is a great way to get there. Nobody has to hear you, or maybe everybody has to hear you. It depends on how that is, but it's time for you to access that again. And when we're singing, we often are able to find our true feelings. And I tend to like to play things that match the underlying emotion I'm having at the moment. So I have my, fun kid music, and I have my, serious ballads and stuff. It's, and then we have the rocking out music to let some of that anger out. Whatever it is, sing it out. You want to get some volume in there, because it would be good for you to speak your truth and for you do it singing. That's a fun one. I think we could all use that homework. All right. Jackie Long. All right. So your card is listen to the music. So you must be hanging out with Carol. So you need music too. You might not have to sing it out. You might want to dance it out. Because there's movement that needs to happen. I'm not sure exactly where it is in your body, but maybe singing and dancing together. But again, music really feeds our soul. And for some of us, we haven't been having as much of it because of how we've been in isolation. And so turn it on, turn it up, get it out there. We can find it on YouTube. We can, find it in all sorts of ways these days. And that also changes the vibration. Music changes the vibration of our environment. So if it's been feeling heavy, it'll bring some lightness too. And if the family is all home, then play something that the family all will laugh and jump around and get into. All right. Thank you. Marie. Nice to have you here, sweetie. So your card is Fill the Well. And when I see that card, it means, it's time for you to do some self-care. You've been giving a lot. I know you have kids. Maybe you've been caretaking a lot or helping them with homeschooling and kind of burning the candle on both ends. So take some time. We forget to do self-care when we're in this type of energy. It's like we're working 24/7. So it's even more crucial for us to set those boundaries on how to fill our well. So make sure you're doing the things that work for you, whether it's exercise or meditating or taking a shower or a tubby. Maybe it's singing and dancing and putting on music. Maybe it's reading or journaling, whatever it is that helps you feel more complete. And don't be afraid for things like, to get a healing from a healer that because that's another thing. A lot of us know how to do distance healing. And so we can help support each other by doing that. And that can help as well. But make sure, because you can't give from a place that's empty. You get to resentment really quickly when we're feeling depleted, frustrated and cranky. Make sure that you're eating properly too and drinking enough water. All right. Kimberly. Hi, dear. So this one is Give It to God. And it's so interesting. Almost every time I see this card, I see people writing down their worries on scraps of paper and tying it to the balloon and letting the balloon go. And, we don't do that anymore because it's not good for the birds and stuff. But that's the type of thing. So whatever you want to create, and this, we've done this 100 times, right? In the healing triangle, right? You write down what you want to bring into your life, and you write down what you want to let go. And you write it down, you set the intention. You can put energy symbols on it. You can burn them. You can put them through water. You could even just put them in the shredder if you wanted to. But don't look at it again. Just hold that intention that it's already taken care of. You could also put it on your altar. But go through that process and remember that, you're very connected to the earth energy. So, today is Earth Day, so it's not a bad day to do that. But you could also do it in the full moon or the new moon, depending on what resonates for you. I'm a full moon person, but some people really like the energy of the new moon for new beginnings for this. All right. There you go, sweetie. Christina. Speak with love. This one got me last week too, because the gondolas in Venice aren't running, but the nice thing about them not running is that the water's clear now. And it hasn't been. So in this energy of speak with love, it's, sometimes we have difficult things to say, and if we do it from our heart space, then we can say what we need to say. Because we're coming from a place of love. And when we speak with love energy, people are more likely to hear us and to understand us and take it in. And when we're triggered and we just say things and we react, what happens? They react and they get upset too, and nobody's listening. But when we speak kindly with love, then all things can be expressed. And so that's what I'm seeing, is that it's something difficult that needs to be talked about, but it needs to be done from this gentle, kind place that's really centered in unconditional love. All right. There you go. Renee. Hello, dearest. So your card is to blow off some steam. Have you been doing that lately? Have you had an opportunity? We get frustrated, and that anger, the righteous anger builds, and we're just like, Rrr. So what are you doing to blow off steam? Again, you can be doing the singing and dancing, or you can be taking a pillow and banging it on your bed. it's like you need to get out some excess energy. Maybe it's walking more. I know you love to swim and that's not happening right now, but it's that getting that anger out in a way that releases it from you. Because otherwise we spin it in our head and it goes nowhere, and we hang on to it in our physical form. So it's really, the bat exercise. You can do that with a pillow. And I know sometimes it's hard because we have people around us. We might have neighbors or things like that. But I would turn up really loud music that lets you get out that anger. I love, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. That one works really well for me, Pat Benatar. And, I like some of Kesha's music. I can get really going on that. My husband loves Beastie Boys. So whatever it is that helps you bang that out and get some of that boom, boom, primal anger out, you need to do that, because it's going to start collecting in you, and that's not going to feel good. And it always leads to difficulty in our physical body. All right, Julie, you made it tonight. Be curious if you stayed awake. So your card is Call Your Spirit Home. And I'm seeing that practice that Neshi does in her meditation, where you call your full name, your full birth name in all of the directions. And it's, and you say your name 3 times and let it center in your heart. That's part of what I see. But I'm also seeing, like, when we go through trauma of any kind, we get these little fragments that release from, it's like we shatter a tiny bit. And those bits and pieces, it's like, okay, guys, come on home. There's no more trauma. There's no more worry. Come on, I can hold all of you now. So it's like calling that back and reclaiming things that really bring you joy. So I hope you're reclaiming your art, you're reclaiming your music, you're reclaiming your sense of style, you're reclaiming your laughter, like all of it. Bring it all back, because it's ready. It's so ready to come in. Yay. All right, Dinah. Nice. So your card is to just have fun. Gosh, I miss going on those merry-go-rounds. I used to love those as a kid. Because you weren't on the ground and it kind of felt like you were flying, but you weren't. Controlled environment flying. So what this is saying to me is it's time for you to play. It's so hard when, everybody's home and you've got to be mom and teacher and maid and all of those things, and you don't really have a break. And fun often revolves around what other people consider fun, and we don't always get to do what we find fun. So it's time for you to have some fun. So I'm not sure how that's going to work for you, but I'm seeing, like going outside with like a bubble gun and shooting bubbles and running and catching them, or taking pictures of them, and doing some artwork and throwing confetti. I don't know. It feels like a party. It feels like an outdoor party. I'm not sure how that works for you, or I don't know what the weather is, but yeah, find a way to have some fun. Make some homemade bubbles or something, and get out there and see what that looks like. And but your inner child needs to play, because they're having a little stir crazy energy, and that's not helpful. We've all got that, so I get it. All right, Margaret. Yep, I got this card the other day too. The detox card. Nose is itchy. Interesting. So the detox card is that, it's time to, release some toxic energy from your body. And that can be physical, it can be mental, it can be emotional. When I see the detox card, it usually means it's time for lots of water, and often water with lemon. It might be some of the, I don't know if you use essential oils or not. I have a blend that's called Energy Detox that helps with this. It's a topical blend. I also have something that you can use internally. It's a supplement called Zendocrine that I really like for detoxing. But it's also a time for you to lighten your food. So any sugar, carbs, alcohol, heavy meat might be a little bit much for your energy system right now. So just be aware of that when you're eating it. Maybe eat a smaller portion of that. But your body wants to purge some stuff. And if it's doing emotional purging, that might mean that you need to do some crying or some screaming or some singing to help move things. We're all moving a lot of energy at different rates. So as part of this whole transition, and so we all are going to go through stages of detoxing. The other thing that I have a couple clients who like to do juicing, where they just juice for, a certain number of days until their body feels more like itself. And you could always do that too. The dark greens are really helpful. And if you need a little sweet, you can put some fruit in there to help out with that. Okay. And I also like to use like pea protein with that, just to add a little bit of protein if I'm just having juice for a little while. All right. It helps your vibration, so go for it. Deborah, nice to have you. So your card is Love Your Body. This is a big one for us. So lots of times, part of what we have difficulty with in moving forward is that we have a lot of negative self-talk that is going on, self-criticism that we've picked up lots of times from people close to us, and it's judgment energy. And so all that judgment energy got caught, and it's focused on your physical body. And so it could be your weight, it could be your hair, it could be, what your legs look like or whatever. But however you criticize yourself, stop. Because, the divine put you in this sacred container and there's nothing wrong with it. It's exactly here to fill its exact purpose. So there's no way for us to ever be in a container where we can't fill our mission and our purpose. So just being okay with where we're at. And, sometimes, we're maybe not as active as we want to be, or we maybe have had to eat some foods that we normally wouldn't eat because it's hard to get certain foods. So don't criticize your body over that. You're getting through this energy how you need to, and just love it up, and maybe take a moment every day in the mirror to say, I love you to yourself. And do things that are loving to yourself, like make sure you get enough rest and stretch and stuff so that your body feels good. And maybe use some really cool like body scrubs or lotions. You can ask Dinah. She makes some really cool things that maybe would allow you to feel that love energy as you're taking care of you. So give that a shot. All right, Rochelle. Hello, dear. Nice to have you. So it's time for you to share your gifts. You've got them. Now flaunt them. So you have your own set of gifts. You know, you have this ability to make other people smile. And you have wisdom and things that are other people need. And, you know, sometimes we don't realize we're the wise one for someone else. That we're saying the thing that helps calm somebody else's storm. But people need you right now. And so whatever your gifts are, you know, share them. You know, if you do artwork, you know, share that. Even if it's just taking pictures of it and sharing it on Facebook so other people can see it, and let there be something in their news feed that's loving and positive, because we all need that. But you have your own unique flavor of you, and it's time to let your light shine. So let those fears go, put them in the dumpster, because right now you're needed. You're being called to service. That's the word I'm hearing. So it's time for you to take action in just a small way, because it'll have a big impact. All right. Thanks, sweetie. Christine. Hello, dear. So your card is Talk to God. We all have our own way of talking and communicating with the divine. Maybe you meditate, maybe you go for walks, maybe you do automatic writing, but it's time for you to have that one-on-one conversation with the divine. And maybe you've got questions that you want answered. Then write it down and just listen for the answer and allow the answer to come through. Don't second guess, don't question, just allow. That's what automatic writing is. And sometimes we hear it, we sense it, we know it. But lots of times to ground it, it helps to put it on paper. But this is a time for you to ask those questions that have been puzzling you or bothering you. And what I'm seeing is the divine is ready and willing to listen. You just haven't really asked. You know, and our angels and our guides, they're here to help us, but they're not called to action unless we ask. So, you know, ask for what you need, ask for what you need help with, ask for what you want clarity on, and open the pathway of communication, because the divine's waiting and willing to listen. I love it. All right. Christine Wyman. So you are safe. A number of us need to hear this one right now. So just take a deep breath. Let that fill your body. You're safe. You're protected. You're good. The divine's got you. You know, there are times when worry and overwhelms us. And the energy right now has been very prone to that, you know. And then we add to it, you know, worry about our family or any of that. That also might bring insecurity or things like money coming in. It's like, just believe it, own it, feel it, that you're safe and that you are provided for, and do the best that you can. I feel that the squeezing in my stomach. So do the best that you can to trust in that. That opens your crown and it allows it to flow to you. And it's right there. It's rapid. So, you know, that would be my mantra, I think, if I were you right now, is that I am safe and provided for. I am safe and provided for. And I would just do that a bunch of times. because you really are. And nothing's going to touch you. You're going to be just fine. All right. Mwah. Sending you lots of love. Cindy. So your card is put others first. So this doesn't mean that, you don't take care of you. What this means is that think about other people and what they need. Because by taking care of them, you're taking care of yourself too. It's little things like, wearing the masks when we're out in public. Some people think it's so that we don't catch what's going around. It's when in reality, it's so that we don't mistakenly spread it if we haven't and don't know it. And that's, we're putting on the mask to protect others from us. And in doing that, we're also protecting ourselves, or the gloves or anything else like that when we're going out and about. And putting others first might be, allowing, the family to watch the type of movie they want to watch. Or you do what's going to be best for the group. Like there's times where just everything, the stress level is so high that it's like, order a pizza and support your local business. And you'll be helping the local economy to the best of your ability and taking care of your family and reducing the stress level at home, right? So sometimes those are the things that we can do to put others first. And it's that awareness that we're all in this together. And when we change our focus from me to team, we're still part of it, right? We're still part of the group when we're serving others. What goes around comes around. So think of that this week while you're going through things. Okay? All right. Tina. Your card is say thank you. I hope your computer's working fine, but the message will be here anyways. So your card is to say thank you. And some of those are big thank yous, like when somebody does something above and beyond. But sometimes it's those little things that are going the right way. One of the things that it's part of my practice is, not that we're in our car very often, but, saying thank you for every green light, or saying thank you for a close parking space, or, maybe saying thank you for getting in and out of the store quickly if we have to go to the store, or saying thank you for the lights staying on during a storm, or saying thank you to someone who thinks of you, who reaches out and thinks of you, or it's those little things can all add up to a big shift for someone. And we don't even realize that when we say thank you, it can be something big for someone else when it's really nothing for us on our end, right? So don't forget to thank your spiritual team too, whenever you get messages or you get those aha moments, thank you. Or thank you, more please. So that way you get that communication going. All right, dear, have a good one. April must be hanging out with the other two ladies. So keep dancing. We've got the music, we've got the singing, we've got the dancing. Dancing is keeping our body moving. It's also about being flexible with rolling with the punches as they're coming in. So we can't do that unless we're really in tune with the movement and the music that's around us. So, they're just saying to keep moving, don't stop. And I keep hearing, dance like nobody's watching. So just allow yourself to express you in a joyful manner, and don't worry about what anybody else says or thinks. It's just about moving and being yourself. So get that fun music on and get dancing. You can create like a house party. You can invite your friends to join you live on Facebook and dance it out. Usually you got to be careful about music. But I know there's been a couple DJs, some like live DJs that have been broadcasting that, you can just listen to their music and support them by dancing around for a little while. It's kind of fun. All right. Allie. Hi, dear. So your card is turn back. So it's kind of like you're in this maze and you're like, what the heck? I don't know where I am or where I'm going. So they're actually telling you to turn around and start again. And so what I'm sensing for you is that, sometimes we try things to see if it'll work, and sometimes it doesn't work. And so you go back to the drawing board and you try again. And that doesn't mean it's a failure. It was a success because it lets you know what doesn't work. And now you can try something else. So don't try to keep plodding through something that's not working. Take a deep breath, throw it in the trash, and start again. And just give yourself permission to have those lessons occur. We think of it as a failure and we did something wrong rather than we eliminated something, so we're closer to what's right. So keep going in a new direction. Release the old, start again, and don't worry about it. Throw it out. All right. Lisa. Your card, my dear, is lend a hand. Very similar to one of the other cards. So the lend a hand is that, there's times when we get like uncomfortable and nervous and we're walking forward fine, and we realize that a friend of ours or a family member, they're having a hard time. And it doesn't take that much energy to help someone else out. And sometimes it's just being kind and giving them the space to not beat themselves up. And it's like, how can I help? Or what can I do? And it's, sometimes it's hard for other people to receive help. But what I'm feeling is, like the bridge is shaking. So it's almost like they're frozen and can't move. They're in that fight, flight, freeze response, and they're frozen. And so if you have somebody near you who maybe is like totally freaked out and just can't seem to get out of their own way right now, lending a hand of helping them get grounded, get centered, look at things from a new perspective, or take their mind off it for a little while. All of those things could really help and shift somebody out of this stuck mode that they're in, because it has a lot of fear attached, and that's not going to help them get anywhere. So use that beautiful heart of yours to lend a hand and help them through this shaky part. Okay? Thanks, sweetie. Linda. Hi, dear. Nice to have you. So your card is invest in your spirit. Nice. So what feeds your soul? What brings you joy? And make sure that you have it. If, artwork speaks to you and, you haven't had anything flush inspiration into your system, Go on, Etsy and support some local artist, or with something beautiful that you can enjoy and infuse, that allows your spirit to come in. It allows you to feel more like you, and you're helping someone else, right? And sometimes investing in your spirit is, taking a class that really calls to you, and it feels like the next thing that you want to take, to learn to connect to your spirit more fully. If, like for some people, crystals really speak to them. And so, there may be a crystal that's calling to you. It feels a lot more like, the other thing it could be too is, like if you are in a space where you need some like energy healing, or something along that lines, that releasing what's holding you back is another investment in ourselves. We sometimes think we're being selfish when we take care of ourselves, but wouldn't it be different if we thought of self-care as an investment, if we're investing in our self-worth? I like that. Let's invest in our self-worth. All right, see how you can do that this week. All right. Kylie, hi dear. Nice to have you here. So your card is to start anew. So this is the energy of the caterpillar changing into the butterfly, and the caterpillar doesn't even really know it's becoming a butterfly. And does the butterfly actually remember being a caterpillar? Who knows? So what it's saying is that right now it's time to start fresh, start something new, recreate who you are, really take flight in what brings you joy. This time of change is one where we can literally start fresh. If you were going to a job you hated, and the parameters on the job have changed, you can start looking for something new that speaks to you. Or you can start a new relationship, because the old one didn't serve you. Or maybe you want to take up something artistic that you put aside for a long time. This is all new creation energy. So whatever speaks to you and calls to your spirit, it's time to let that come out of the cocoon, to transform into a new version of you and really take off. I love it. Enjoy that. Emily, hi dear. Nice to have you. I'll do your card first. So your card is clean up your mess. We've all got that right now, right? So maybe literal, we're home and everybody's crazy and things are messier than normal. It can be that. But it also could be that we, got into it with a family member, and we said things we didn't mean to say, and or a friend, and yeah, time to go back and clean that up. Say I'm sorry, own your own side of it. But don't leave it sitting there festering, because that won't serve anyone. So it feels a little bit of that, but there also might be a little clutter going on in the house, and we're home too. So, hey, it's a great time to declutter, go in that basement, attic, garage, and tackle that place that's been driving you crazy. Because you probably got a little army of helpers too, that could help you out. And maybe it's your yard. People are getting out. It's their way to get outside, clean up the yard and do what you've always wanted to. But it's time to to, when we have too much chaos, too much mess, then our energy is distracted and it's hard for us to create and it's hard for us to relax. So organization and that make it easier. All right. And for your mom, Jackie, her card is Be Courageous. Time to take action, Miss Jackie. So in that energy, it's, fear can freeze us in our tracks. So it's like, take a deep breath and call on, Joan of Arc if you need to, to give you the courage that you need and go forward in a new way. Be brave. The horse is white, which always means we're riding on the energy of the divine. The divine has everything planned out. All you have to do is be brave enough to say yes and give it a try. So whatever you've been resisting and worried about doing, take a deep breath and go for it, because you're being supported, you're being guided. And all it takes is for you to kind of put those big girl pants on, and take a deep breath and you've got it. All right. Your guardian angels got you. There's nothing that's going to go wrong. It's all lined up. Just put your courage on. All right. Alyssa, hi, sweetie. Nice to have you. Nice one for you. So this is the Thank God card. So it's finding all the things to be grateful for that the divine has been showing up and giving you lately. It's changing our focus to gratitude. It's so easy for us to complain about everything that's going wrong, or blaming everybody else for what's going on around us. But that energy is in fear and it's away from love. So in gratitude, being thankful for every little thing, even the hard times. It's like, thank you for setting up this situation so I can learn how to be courageous and stand on my own 2 feet. And maybe we might not feel that totally, but we know that someday that's what we want to experience and feel. So maybe take some time to, you can say them out loud, your gratitudes out loud. You can write it down. But what are the divine things that you can be thankful for? Like beautiful sunrises and sunsets, some yummy food and things like that. So having gratitude for all the gifts that are around you being provided for so that you have a place to land, even if it's not perfect, right? So, being in that thankful place, because then the divine knows what things you're thankful for and can send more of that vibration toward you. How's that? All right. Have a good one. Nice to see you. All right, Anne. So this one is step away from the crowd. So the herd's all going one way and you're like, nope, I'm going this way. What I'm feeling for that is, you thinking for yourself. Just because everybody else doesn't mean you should. Really follow what your heart and your intuition is expressing to you that you want to do and how you want to be, and do that, because that's where we find our joy, not when we follow everybody else's expectations for us. So this is, let all those expectations of others go, all those responsibilities of others go, and really step into a place where you're being you. And we are stepping away from the crowd right now, in the quarantine energy. We're stepping away and we're giving ourselves time for quiet. And in the quiet, we can connect to our team and the divine in a whole new way. There's less energetic noise on the planet as a whole, so we can hear more clearly if we just stop and listen. So the crowd mentality, the herd beliefs aren't working for you. Probably never have. So it's time to step away from that energy some more and think for yourself, act for yourself, and be comfortable with that, because that's what you were supposed to do from the beginning. All right. Thanks, sweetie. Julie. Hello, dear. Yes, glad to have you here on the show. So your card is to decide the outcome. So this is a judge type of energy. But a judge with a glass of wine? I don't know. So with this card, what I'm sensing for you is that, there's a decision coming up in the next week or so, that, you're going to have to weigh out the pros and cons. A lot of people I've been saying, listen to your heart, listen to your intuition. This one is a little bit more of whatever you decide will determine the outcome. And so check in with your heart, check in with your soul, but also weigh the pros and cons of yes versus no. And how will my energy feel if I say yes? And really closing your eyes and feeling your body and the future of the yes. And then saying, what is the future if I say no? And then feeling your energy and feeling your body and making your decision from there. That's a really good practice of, because we can often sense in our own body the difference. And we might feel like our stomach tighten, and that's like, ooh, that's not a good choice for me. Or we can all of a sudden feel very relaxed and whew, and we'll be like, oh, that one feels better. So I'm going to go with the one that feels better. And so use that as you're deciding your outcome. But remember that the decision is yours. So there's no one to blame but you. So you make the choices. You are the one who's going to be accountable energetically. So there's no one to blame. This is all up to you. All right. Nice. Have a nice night. Deborah. All right. Happy Earth Day to you. You got the You Are Not Afraid card. I like that. So the You Are Not Afraid is that sometimes something appears to be bigger than it is. This is the David and Goliath kind of energy. And so, we can make a mountain out of a molehill, that kind of energy. And so when we don't go into our fear place and we just go, nope, not going there, then the obstacle becomes smaller and our perspective shifts and we are able to see more clearly. And then it's like, what was I so worried about? Why did I make such a big deal out of that? So in that energy, it's like when something comes up that seems like it's a big obstacle, big difficulty, take a deep breath and realize that perception might not be true. It's fear that magnified it, and find way to bring love energy in instead. I used to have, I'm not somebody who likes to get up on stage and talk and stuff. Or, get up on stage in general. But so there was this thing that whenever I had to do that, my husband and I would say, you're a big, brave dog. You're a big, brave dog. So I'm sensing that like you're a big, big, brave dog and you've got this, you might be that little yip, yip, yip. And it's like, no, you're a big, brave dog. And you're like, you start feeling more like that energy. And so you go out there and you put on your bravery and you're like, I've got this, or it's like you're Piglet and you face that, that scary heffalump, and which was really just noisy wind. And you'll get through this energy really quickly if you realize there's that illusion and it's all created by fear. There's the basic of it. All right, dear. Have a good day. Angela. Oh, nice. Your card is to decorate. Right now, we need some fresh energy. Move around the furniture in your space. Put a new blanket out or a new color out. If you can paint, or order a new rug, or just breathe some new life into your space. Because when it's been the same old, then our energy feels stuck too. But when we use our creativity, it really has some fun. And it doesn't take a lot to change the feel of a room. A new painting, a new pillow, a new, just changing the, how the room is set up changes the energy flow. And all of that brings new life into our space. And don't be afraid to decorate you too. Many of us are stuck at home, so we're kind of wearing sweatpants and, throwing our hair up. And it's like, why not have a dress up day where everybody dresses up for dinner and you have a nice dinner, and then you put on music and everybody sings and dances and has a little party. Like, it could be that too. All right. So have some fun with that. All right. Genevieve. Hi, dear. Marie did not ask for a card for you. So I'm glad that you've been listening through your phone. So your card, my dear, is take no offense. So this goes back to the 4 Agreements. And if you haven't read that book, it's great. Don Miguel Ruiz, the 4 Agreements. And one of them is not to take things personally. So when we take offense, somebody says something and we don't like it and we take it personally, then we're like, oh, I can't believe they said that. But maybe they didn't mean it the way we took it. If you can allow somebody to say what they need to say and not let it impact you, it's like they can say whatever they want to about you, but you don't have to believe it. So when we take offense, we've given our power away to that person. When we take it personally, we're allowing that person's opinion of us and our behaviors and our actions to be more important than our own truth. So taking back our personal power is, saying what we mean to say, doing what we mean to do, and owning it. And if somebody else doesn't like it, well, that's their energy and that's on them. We don't have to accept that. We don't have to take that in as ours. We can just move on. Does that make sense? So try not to take it personally. And again, if you haven't read the 4 Agreements book, I invite everybody to read it. It's great. I read it at least once a year. All right, Roberta, Bobby, hello. Here's yours, my dear. Clear the fog. So what's foggy? Your perception, your brain a little foggy, having trouble focusing, maybe a little trouble grounding. So how do you clear that foggy energy? What do you do to open up your third eye so that it can see and perceive more clearly? Have you been praying and meditating? Have you been automatic writing in your journal? Have you talked it through with your honey? Things that are spinning in the head and not having a voice, because all those things create fog and smoke and smog, like pollution in our head and in our third eye. And that can make it hard. It also has this groggy feel to it. So I don't know if you're on a medication that's making it a little bit foggy as well. So remember that any essential oil that has a tree bark in it will help ground your energy. And I have the grounding blend, which helps really well. And even just breathing in that energy can help really connect you and ground you. And when you do that, then generally the fog starts to clear a little bit. So look at all those things this week and see what you can do, because you deserve to have bright, open, clear perception. And with that looks like it was our last one for the evening. So I'm going to give Cooper, my trusty sidekick, his card for tonight, which is stop. And I love the stop card for you. It's like, don't jump in the icy waters. There's sharks there. So, right now it's that kind of like, you got to kind of blindly do what everybody else is doing. And so if you get this little warning bell in your head that's like, maybe I shouldn't do that, don't. Make sure that you're listening to your own self. Again, just because everybody else is doesn't mean you should, because there might be a shark in the water ready to eat you. And with that, you guys, I hope you have a splendid rest of your week. You can catch me tomorrow night on Chakra Sessions. And tomorrow evening, right after that, I'll be teaching at Star Nations Academy live online all about multidimensional manifesting and your inner child. And with that, thank you for helping me do my mission, which is to heal the healers. Have a great night, guys.